Recently, our 6-month-old grandson Javier came to visit our family. And he's just about at that age where he's starting to push up and starting to kick his feet, and he's just about to crawl. So we laid out a blanket on the living room floor, and we did what every family does. We gather around this spectacle, and we put a couple toys just far enough away from his hands that he couldn't reach it, and then we started cheering him on. And Javi saw the toys, and he reached out, and he couldn't quite get them. And so what did he do? He started moving his body and kicking his feet, and little by little, he started to move. He's so close to crawling. And then when he got impatient, he did what every good baby does. He just rolled like a stone and got what he needed to get. But it was exciting to watch that. When Javi left, I couldn't help but think about Jesus in this moment. I couldn't help but think about Holy Week. And I started to really think about the humanity of Jesus. I've heard so many people talk about the divinity of Jesus and what this Holy Week means for all of humanity because of what God did. But rarely do we hear about the humanity of Jesus. Jesus was a baby, just like our 6-month-old Javier. And I can imagine that his family was gathered around and his mom was sitting there going, "Go, Jesus, go." It's like, "Stretch your hands," and putting her hand on there and pushing him around a little bit, and then Jesus rolling to get what he wanted to get. But eventually his mom would train him to crawl, and then to stand, and then to take his first step, and then start to walk, and then run, and then grow and talk, work and play, learn. The humanity of Jesus is tremendous in Scripture. It says in Scripture, as he got older, he grew in wisdom and he grew in stature. What a bizarre thing to think about, that God would be growing in wisdom and stature. It's God. And then there came a moment where his cousin John baptized him. And when he came up out of the water, it says in Scripture that everything parted and a dove descended upon him, and they could hear the sound of his father say, "This is my son who I'm well pleased." A friend of mine years ago in college said, "How do we please God?" He said, "Scripture tells us we please God by our faith." And then he said this, "Is it possible that Jesus grew to fruition in his faith, that he was ready now to go out and do the work that he was required to do?" Because we know that at that point, after he was baptized, he was pushed down into his public ministry for nearly 3 years. And as he went through his ministry, Jesus knew the end of that ministry. He knew his mission. And he went through all of these emotions, I'm sure, as a human being. He knew that there was going to be a moment where he was going to be on the mountain looking down at Jerusalem, and he wasn't going to meet the expectations of the cheering crowd. They were expecting a mighty warrior, a military leader, someone that was going to put into place an empire that could take over the Roman Empire that was oppressing the people. He didn't ride in on that war horse. He rode in on a donkey, the sign of humility and peace. He was bringing a different kind of kingdom, still a mighty kingdom, but a different kind of kingdom. And he knew those expectations were going to be shattered just a few days later. And as he went through that Holy Week, I could just imagine his own mother watching all of these events take place. And Jesus, knowing his own mother, the one that taught him to crawl and to stand and to walk and to run and to talk and to love and to work. I could just imagine the emotions as a human being that Jesus would feel and the emotions that his own mother would feel. We have a friend, Jeff Nelson. He's a pastor and a poet. He came to one of the Open Table Collective's live events, and he recited one of his poems, and it was just unbelievably moving. And so we decided to record it, and we want to share it with you because it came out of him contemplating this very idea. What could Jesus have been thinking about as he was journeying to the cross and thinking about his own mother? For this year, we're hoping that all of you would start to look at Easter through the lens of Jesus as human and what it might have felt like as he journeyed to the cross, thinking about his own mother. Take this in and let it permeate your heart and your mind and your soul, and let it shape you a little different this Easter.
Angel promises whispered in the night. That's you, Mama. Saying yes to the impossibility of God. That's you, Mama. Risking everything so that something could become a new thing about everything that ever was anything. That's always been your thing. Because that's you, Mama. 9 months pregnant, riding on the back of a donkey in the sweating dust of desert to get to the spot where the star marked. That was you, Mama. In the midst of mud and muck and dirt and dung and straw and sheep and the cold of strangers looking on, you gave birth to a miracle. That's you, Mama. Blessed are you among women. That's you, Mama. Being venerated by half the church and ignored by the other. That's you, Mama. Welcoming shepherds to worship a king and kings to become friends of shepherds. That's you, Mama. Mary, did you know? Yes, you knew. That's you, Mama. Feeding me from the life that flowed through you. That's you, Mama. Tucking me into a basket and keeping me hidden while mad rulers went mad. That's you, Mama. Teaching me to walk in a concentration camp. That's you, Mama. Band-aids on bruised knees. Forehead kisses as you tuck me in, crying as you drop me off at the first day of school. Lentil soup that heals the soul. That's you, Mama. Showing me the potential of yeast. That's you, Mama. Having a special kid, but treating him no different than any other kid. That's you, Mama. Telling Dad to take it easy on me when I broke his hammer. That's you, Mama. Praying over me night and day, lighting the Sabbath candle, sitting Shiva after Dad died. That's you, Mama. Raising a son to become a man, and a man to become the son of man. That's you, Mama. Standing 3 steps away from the edge of a picnic table saying, "Jump, Jesus, jump. Mama will catch you, Jesus. Mama will always catch you, Jesus," knowing that the day would come when you wouldn't be able to catch me. That's you, Mama. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. That's you, Mama. The Lord is with you, Mama. I will always be with you, Mama. I am yours, Mama. I am, Mama. I'm sorry.